start by zeroing in on Florida. After finishing with 4 straight wins to close out the season, the Gators have been pretty quiet in the offseason. No major moves personnel-wise, but the loudest topic to come out of the Swamp so far is the health of star quarterback DJ Lagway. Zach Goodall from Swamp 24/7 has got the latest.
The biggest story ahead of Florida's Saturday spring game is Gator star sophomore quarterback DJ Lagway's availability, or lack thereof, entering the game. After taking over as Florida's starting signal caller last season after Graham Mertz went down with an injury, and UF going 6-1 in the games in which Lagway started as a true freshman, he entered spring training camp with a shoulder injury as well as an undisclosed lower body injury that is not yet confirmed to be related to the hamstring injury that he suffered against Georgia last November. He's yet to throw a pass in front of reporters when we've been invited to watch practice, as well as to our understanding, he didn't attempt to throw during Florida's closed intra-squad scrimmage on April 1st. Just handed the ball off, dressed out, took some snaps, but didn't throw. That trend is expected to continue this weekend when Florida opens its gates to fans at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium for the orange and blue game. He'll dress out, he'll hand the ball off, but he won't throw the ball, to our understanding at this point. Whether or not he is going to need further attention for these injuries, surgery or otherwise, this offseason remains to be seen, although considering Lagway has been to an extremely limited extent available to practice this spring, it at least currently appears that Florida's comfortable with allowing these injuries to heal on their own.
I know he's trying to be as positive as possible, but man, if you're a Florida fan watching that, you're a little nervous. And not just if you're a Florida fan, if you're Billy Napier, I think we can all agree that his job is somewhat tied to the success of this quarterback. How nervous should Billy Napier be right now?
Scale of 1 to 10, I'm at an 8 right now. I know, Coop, earlier when we talked about it, we were like, oh, it's early on this spring. We're at a 5. But we're at the end of it with no answers. And then when you look at it, you're saying, okay, what happened if I was the general manager there at Florida? Where would I have been in December? I would have been in the shopping of a quarterback that, if anything, like worked out towards this direction, like what's the worst thing that can happen to it? That's where we have to have that discussion is GM, head coach. Coach, I understand that you believe that DJ Lagway is the guy. So do I. But we understand that he's a little bit banged up. What's our plan if plan A doesn't work? What's our plan B look like?
I'm very concerned. I'm with Smoke. He's at an 8. I might be at a 9. You know, listen, and if I was a fan of any team and my starting quarterback was not throwing the ball during spring, that would be something that I would be very, very nervous, anxious about. And I think if you're a Florida fan, you look at it, you're 19-19 over 3 years under Billy Napier. We're looking at an 8-5 season where DJ Lagway went 6-1. This is the only stretch of football under Billy Napier in 3 years that you have the ability to hang your hat on. Now, this is the guy that has brought it all together in the absence of Graham Mertz. And this team, like you said and you alluded to, they spent all of their financial investment retaining talent, not going out there being proactive, trying to add talent via the transfer portal. And it's set up for Florida and DJ Lagway to make a run in the SEC. It's a big if. And Smoke brought it up. What does the plan B look like? Right now, the plan B is Harrison Bailey, a guy that hasn't thrown more than 70 attempts in one season since he's been in college football in 2020. So if I'm Florida, I need to have a really difficult conversation and look in the mirror and say, hey, are we comfortable here in that worst-case scenario that DJ Lagway can't play this season? Heck, what if he can't even play half the games? And what does that look like? Are we comfortable with Harrison Bailey? Because, like I said, I bring up that 19-19 record for Billy Napier. His future is directly tied to his franchise quarterback. And if he can't go all of a sudden a 4-8, a 5-7 season, that's lopsided for him. It's going to be really hard for him to retain his job. And I think they're in a good spot right now. Long term, you can say they're in a good spot. But without DJ Lagway, this thing does not go.
As we're offering up things on a scale of 1 to 10, how about where's your confidence level in Harrison Bailey? 10 being the most confident, 1 being least confident if he has to go.
Coop, I'm at a 3, honestly. Because we haven't seen it. You haven't seen enough to walk in and say, Coach, you know what? We have a 6-win season. And even with that said, where is he at in terms of development and his ability to play with the pieces around him? Like, how many true reps has he gotten with the first team, second team, to understand the entire offense to help Florida win. And we saw what Florida looked like without DJ Lagway last year. Hope, inspiration. That team played different when he was on the football team. You take that away now and put a guy in that the locker room knows is not that good. He's a backup. He's bounced around. Like, he is what he is. Like, how are you going into the season? How do you feel?
I think if you're a Florida fan and if you want to know the answer to that question, look at the Georgia game and look how quickly that game flipped. I mean, Florida really early before DJ Lagway went down with the hamstring, Aiden Warner had to come in. Whether it's Harrison Bailey or Aiden Warner, these are not guys that are obviously DJ Lagway level players. But if you're Billy Napier, you have to look at this quarterback situation and say, okay, maybe our ceiling of being a team that can contend for 9 or 10 wins this season won't be obtainable. But can we win 7? Can we get to 8 in a bowl game? Can Harrison Bailey get us there? I think the answer to that question is bluntly no. So that's what I find fascinating over the next couple of weeks. I think their activity or inactivity in the transfer portal for maybe another arm to add some competitive depth and an emergency guy that you would like as an insurance policy is going to tell us how strongly they feel about DJ Lagway being able to make a full recovery.
The spring transfer portal window opens a week from today.
But even with the transfer portal opening up, and say DJ Lagway does get to play somewhat in the fall somewhere in it, you're still missing that developmental point that he needs right now in the spring. He was good last year. He should be better right now, but he hasn't thrown a football. So if you do ramp up his recovery and his rehab, how many footballs is he allowed to throw during fall camp? And then how much do we have to monitor a sophomore, true sophomore, in the season? So you're always holding back. If I'm a quarterback coach, I'm going in there every day saying, okay, how many periods do I get with DJ Lagway for him to throw the football? How many throws do I get per game? Am I now limited to my play calling? Am I now limited to the way that I want to run him because his legs are dangerous? And how do I have to keep him inside his own shell to protect him? And you never want to affect the psyche of a player to tell them how to protect themselves at all times.
It's going to be a tough spring and fall as these fans and Billy Napier himself waits out to see what happens with DJ Lagway.